I'm Angelia Perez. I'm in 11th grade and I'm a first-year member of FFA. My SAE project consists of growing various types of succulents in the time period I'm given. My SAE is for pursuing both entrepreneurship and research experimentation. My specific goal for this SAE was to successfully grow and care for various species of many succulents to eventually sell them when appropriately grown. I'd say around 95% of my goals for this SAE was completed. The lack of 5% is due to the fact that there were minor changes made from what I originally wanted to do. I first started out with coming up with a plan to obtain my materials. I searched on the internet for nearest hardware stores with garden centers in my area, as well as plant nurseries. We began our research for necessary materials. We went to places such as Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, and nearest plant nurseries. We had gotten the necessary fresh fertilizer, pots, Miracle-Gro, and a couple of spray bottles for watering. Though we had luck with getting most of our needed materials, it was a bit of an adventure as most stores and places we went to had no succulent seeds whatsoever. My mom and I still continued our search. It seemed we were out of luck with finding actual succulent seedlings, even when looking to order them online. So we ended up just getting 4 different species of the smallest succulents already grown to replant and propagate them. With little knowledge on how to propagate succulents, it was a time for research and experimentation, because I had never done this before. I watched many videos on the tutorials on what I needed to do. It was going to be a slow process. Propagation is the process of picking the leaves off a healthily grown succulent to lay them out to dry and water occasionally in order for them to produce new roots for replanting. Once I was able to gather all the materials I needed, I replanted all the small pre-grown succulents that I had bought, and I kept up with watering them at certain times. It was really based on whatever the weather was like. If it was colder than usual, they wouldn't need much watering for up to a few days to even a week. But as it grew hotter, watering them more became necessary, as they are desert plants. The propagating process took time as I had to patiently wait for new roots to form on the propagated buds. The way it works is the ends and which is ripped from the already grown succulents dry and develop a scab-like state for new roots to grow. As a week and a half passed, the roots were finally beginning to sprout. This meant that I could finally replant them in their new pots with fresh fertilizer. I did so and made sure to water them properly once before leaving them on my dresser, which was exposed to very little sunlight from the window in my room. This was intentional and necessary due to the fact that the freshly sprouted roots could possibly dry up and die from the heat. Growing these succulents needed proper time management, patience, critical thinking, observation, and self-motivation to push through with my goals. I needed to successfully care for these plants in order for my goals to be reached, as it was something that I have never done before. I needed to properly water them, change out their soil, and make sure their exposure to shade or sunlight was balanced well. It was a matter of waiting and observing to see whether or not my succulents were going to be successfully grown from beginning to end. But I remained motivated and kept my hopes strong as I did. And everything turned out just fine, as the plants grew as they should have and were able to be decorated and sold successfully. Here's what the wrapping looked like when they were successfully grown and ready to be sold to family members. I had learned a lot about occupational skills for this specific SAE. Growing and managing succulents is more difficult than deemed, as there were many challenges faced with it. There was more to it than just planting and watering. It was a whole process. It was about keeping up with the environment and weather conditions to determine how well the succulents would grow. The things I could have done better with this project would have been to have a much larger and diverse variety of succulents, to do more research and learn about each individual one and how to properly care for them. The goals I have set for next SAE is to go beyond with my research on different topics related to agriculture, not just plants. Though if I were to continue my pathway within plant systems, I'd take it a lot more seriously and make it more professionalized if I was able to. I'd do more landscaping and yard work to have a bigger and better variety of succulents or even other types of plants I could grow. Learning how to properly propagate succulents was fun and even interesting, as it provided me a lot of information of how to tend and care to succulents, being that I have some of my own, because it started out as a mere hobby. I definitely want to do this project again. I want to take it more seriously and have a larger variety of people to sell to, rather than just family. It was very interesting, and overall, it was a good experience, and I definitely would love to do it again. So thank you for your time.